Alrighty, so I'm working on the Z, and as you see, it's on. Gauge says it's getting a little bit hot. Drove it around a little bit to try to get more heat into it, but I didn't want to take it up on the main road to and end up risking pegging it out. But to verify it, I have a problem. I got a infrared thermometer. I'm just going to take reading at specific places. Alright, so first one's going to be right at the top of the radiator, right where the water comes out of the engine into the radiator. It says about 106. Now this is probably inaccurate because it's a shiny surface. If I go to the hose itself, it's about 140-ish. That sounds a little more accurate. Take it right to the thermostat, where the thermostat will be. I don't have one installed in the engine, but I take the measurement. It's about 142, 150, 60-ish. Right at the temperature sensor for the fuel air mixture, about the same. If I take the measurement right at the water inlet to the engine, about the same, about 150-ish. Right at the neck, about 150-ish. I go to where the bypass is for the heater core, about 160-ish, which is pretty normal on these engines because the back cylinders do run a little bit hotter than the front cylinders. These are the last parts where the engine gets its cooling. Take little spots on the block, about 160-ish, some 170-ish, so not too bad. Cylinder head right with the temperature sensor, about 160-ish, 170-ish, depending on where the probe is, so not bad. Middle of the head, about the same there. Right where that core plug is that I replaced a little bit ago. Kind of hard to do, but about the same, 160-ish. Water pump itself, 150-ish. And try to get down here. It's going to be inaccurate because I got it covering over the radiator hose to keep it from chafing. But that's about 130-ish. To the valve cover itself, 160-ish. So, in other words, it's running about like 10 degrees colder than what it's supposed to, because I ain't got the thermostat in there. But overall, it is not hot. And I can put my hand on the hoses, I can put my hand on the engine itself without immediately burning myself. I will put my hand on the cylinder head and everything. Back here, it's a little hot, of course it's going to be, but it's not, you know, like it's instantly singeing my hands. So I think I got a bad temperature sensor. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take a reading right at that sensor and see what that says. Sensors probably gonna be hard to hear with the fan noise, but the sensor that controls the gauge is that wire right there. That, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a wire right there. That's about 160. So I don't think this thing's overheating at all, even though the dash clearly says it is. So yeah, probably need to source the sensor. And even then, this thing, the throttle sticks a little bit, so I'm going to have to lubricate that, as you see. Yeah, I think this wire's getting in the way, actually, now I'm thinking about seeing it. This wire up here. But, as you see, the engine's running fine. The rudder spine's got plenty of power. The fan is kicking on and off. And yeah, so yeah, you see it's still a little hot according to the gauge, but my thermal thermometer says it's fine. It's running about 160, 170-ish, depending on where you exactly you probe it. And to prove that this thing's working properly, the exhaust vent temps are about 600 degrees, which is normal. Maybe a little bit on the hot side, but you know, that's that part. But so let's source a temperature gauge. Alrighty, so I pulled into my local Winn-Dixie to kind of test it out, get some heat into it and everything. And on the way here, the needle actually dropped almost all the way to the 120. It was maybe like just a little bit over. And I parked it and it was still there, and I turned it off. Now, it was only in the store for 10 minutes. And I come out, turn it back on, it's back to where it was when I first started driving it. So, I'm 99% sure the sensor or the gauge on the dash is at fault. I've also noticed when I take a tight turn, the needle will move one way or the other. So, once I get it home, I'll verify one more. Hopefully, the needle will be a little bit higher. That way I could really do a full-on verification. So now it seems like it's dropped down a little bit, but that is interesting. Alright, well, let me get this figured out. Alrighty, so I'm back in the Z. This is probably going to be the last little section of the video, and literally like 5 minutes ago, the temperature is all the way up to like almost right around that 270-ish, just a little bit under. Then it literally came right back down, so I'm not really, I think this gauge is just reading sporadic numbers. So like I said, came back from the convenience store, and like I said, it was like around 270-ish, and I put the thermometer on there, is literally only like 190 degrees. Now that does seem a little bit hot for not having a thermostat in the car. That might be because I think this fan clutch might not be working properly as it should. So that is probably something I'm going to have to replace. It does engage and disengage, but it seems like it's a little slow to react. But right now it's rating like it's supposed to, and like I said, this car literally has no problems. It's literally not showing any problems when it gets hot, like when it says it's getting hot like that. So I'm pretty sure this does not have an overheat problem. Someone's taking a turn in front of me. So that's pretty much it for the video. Y'all know what to do: like, comment, subscribe. Be safe, have fun, and don't forget to tip your waitress.